Sumatra is the sixth biggest island in the world. Its natural resources are considered to be among the world's richest. Vast tropical forests from the highlands to the lowlands are a major part of the landscape of this, the third biggest island in Indonesia. The biodiversity in Sumatran Forest is unsurpassed by any other part of the world. It is the only place in the world where the highly endangered Sumatran elephant, orangutan, rhino and tiger exist in the same place. With approximately 400 Sumatran tigers left in its forests, Sumatra accounts for 12% of the global tiger population, making Indonesia a key country in the conservation of this critically endangered species. Sumatra is also rich in endemic plants. One endemic species found in Sumatra is the carrion flower, or Amorphilus titanum, which is the tallest flower in the world. Forests in Sumatra are important for people, wildlife, the environment, and even the world's climate. It is estimated that the peatland areas in Sumatra contain the largest store of carbon in Southeast Asia. Sumatra's 7 million hectares of sometimes very deep peat soils are estimated to store more than 19 gigatons of carbon, while its remaining natural forest may store 2 gigatons of carbon.
WWF recommends that government and industry sectors protect the remaining natural forests left in Sumatra and develop agricultural plantation on idle land only. We have worked with ministries and provincial government to formulate an island-wide ecosystem-based land use planning to allow restoration of critical areas, protect ecosystem services, and protect areas with high conservation values.
At the beginning of the 1980s, half of the island was covered by tropical rainforests. But now the forest is rapidly decreasing, and this is threatening the island's rich wildlife and biodiversity, as well as people. Between the period of 1985 to 2008, Sumatra lost more than 12 million hectares of forest, or almost 50% of its forest cover, with an average loss of 500,000 hectares per year. By 2008, Sumatra only had 29% of its total area still covered by forest. Deforestation, mainly from unsustainable plantations and logging in Sumatra, has led to a heavy loss of Sumatra's ecosystems and biodiversity, including Sumatra's tigers, elephants, rhinos and orangutans. The destruction of these forests also threatens the lives and livelihoods of millions of people. Poor water quality, erosion, landslides, floods and haze are just a few examples of the impact of forest destruction on Sumatra's people. Conflicts between humans and wildlife are also one of the consequences of deforestation in Sumatra. Sumatran elephants and tigers are the species most frequently in conflict with humans. Once their forest is replaced in many cases by oil palm and pulp plantations, their search for food ends in conflict with people. This can lead to losses both for people and these endangered species. there is still a chance to save the rich legacy of Sumatra's forests. In October 2008, all 10 governors of Sumatra, supported by the Indonesian Ministries of Environment, Home Affairs, Forestry and Public Works, announced their joint commitment to save and conserve the ecosystems of Sumatra, in order to balance ecological functions and economic development for the people of Sumatra. By initiating ecosystems-based land use planning, restoring critical areas to protect ecosystem services, and protecting areas with high conservation value to protect ecosystem services, biodiversity, and the global climate. The commitment was announced during a side event at the IUCN World Conservation Congress in Barcelona, Spain. As a follow-up to the commitment, in May 2010, the Indonesian government published a roadmap action plan for saving Sumatran ecosystems. The roadmap has set up ecosystem visions for Sumatra by 2020. These maps of Sumatra are for protection and restoration, based on the assessment of critical habitats. The roadmap action plan also outlines measures to be taken to avoid additional ecosystem degradation through restoration of critical areas, sustainable management of areas in good condition, and the development of incentive mechanisms.
Ecosystem Vision for Sumatra 2020 was developed by Ministry of Environment of Indonesia along with all related ministries and NGOs forum known as Portras. The vision provides guidance for province and district governments to implement the governor's commitment to conservation in Sumatra. Central Sumatra's rimba landscape has been selected as a model of best practices for sustainable spatial planning and low carbon development. By protecting rimba integrated areas, this spatial plan model potentially to contribute to Indonesian commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 26% from business as usual situation in 2020. And if we have external assistance, we can reach 41% reduction.
Together, we can change the fate of Sumatra's biodiversity and global climate.